And we're back, and I know now what CM Punk feels like. I am tired, I am hurt, and I work with children. Um,
I
Welcome to another episode, the year-end episode of the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. And again,
You work with
why do I
children.
do? Why I'm a glutton for punishment at this point. Um,
it
But
spins.
welcome everybody to the fourth annual year-end Huge Pop Wrestling Awards. This is not like the TikTok Awards where we nominate people who don't deserve it. We don't do that here. But we might have Nikki D stopping in. I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone who will be joining us and watching this at a later date. This is something that I enjoy doing because I get to hang out with everybody and talk wrestling. And it doesn't have to be current wrestling. We were talking about from January 1st of last year until current day. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing so. And I think there's 16 different categories that we're going to be talking about over the next and hour and some change. But how's everyone doing tonight? Everyone doing good?
Really good, really good. So
It
Cody,
spins.
you finally are you thawing out after going to that
Oh
parade?
God, that sucks so much. It was a half an hour of me watching tractors and watching snow fly.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
no,
So,
It got
Scotty,
to 8 degrees.
how you doing tonight, Scotty boy?
doing good. I mean, it's the rough, hard part of the year. I'm really not. I used to be a Christmas guy, and I'm just. It's just it is what it is, But I get to hang out with you guys tonight, and that's cool. And I love every time I get to talk wrestling with my brother is awesome, and Cody Cornette, it's awesome, and I wish Nikki D and Rico were on, but they have family stuff, and I respect that. But I do want to say something. I know it's not a main part of what we're talking about, but I want to give shout outs to probably one of my favorite independent wrestling promotions, Extreme Impact Wrestling, here in Panama City. By far one of the best I've seen and watched. And I was asked to give who gives the referee award, and I'm going to just say Teddy Smith. He took a beating from a faction in XPW. So you get your award, man. I have no plaque for you. I have nothing, but you get the award. There you go.
Now,
We have no physical representation of it, but you can have it.
you give your shout out to them. We have kind of in the process of having a relationship with IWE up here in the Holton Lake area. Want to give my shout outs to them. John Campbell been on the show. Officer Scott Atlas has been on the show. He's a great dude too. And I am Cody Leedy as well. Those three have been our first three guests that's been able to take the time and come on the show, and we look forward to 2025 and getting more people on the show from that promotion as well. So
yeah.
So let's kick it off with the Rookie of the Year male category. We'll start with the stat man, Cody. Who do you got for Rookie of the Year?
It's hard because do you pick someone from NXT? Do you pick someone on their first year on the main roster? Do you pick some indie darling? How do you pick and define Rookie of the Year? My Rookie of the Year is gonna go to Carmelo Hayes. I think his main roster year so far has been banger. He has produced great matches, especially with Cody. He's showing that he's a top dog. I want to see more.
That's fair. That's fair. Scott, what do you got?
And I went kind of the same way, Cody, as you do. Yeah, NXT. You go to NXT, you go to AEW, you go to an indie banger. I don't know. Well, the guy, and I think he's a rookie. But I would pick the breakout rookie of the year. He has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt he belongs in the WWE. He just does some shit that I'm like, what? A man his size, what are you doing? Right? I give it to Jacob Fatu.
For who?
Jacob Fatu.
Okay. Now, see, this is a beautiful part of what of having your own opinion, right? My rookie of the year, he's not rookie, but I'm giving it to the the man, the myth, the legend, Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker, he embodies everything there is about the WWE. He is going to be a future world heavyweight champion. He's already made his stamp on the IC championship. I just think going forward, he's going to be the guy, and he proved that he belongs in a main event, and that's who I'm taking.
Yeah.
What's going on, Professor? What's going on, Rick?
What up?
Next up, rookie of the year, female. This one was tough for me. We'll start with Scott. Who do you got?
All right, so this person the rookie of the year and the breakout I had a hard time with, but I think this person belongs on both of them. Since her appearance in February to the main roster, everybody talks about her on Tuesday show. Tiffany Stratton. I'd give her the rookie of the year in the women's division. She's done it all. She's amazing. She's funny. She's fun to watch. So I gave it to Tiffany Stratton.
All right, Cody.
I agree. Tiffany Stratton. Like, good God, name something that she hasn't done. Name something that she, is not good at. Name something that somebody else can do better than her. She has been across the board breakout star of the year, rookie of the year on the main roster. Just fantastic. No questions asked.
This is a clean sweep for us. But a close second, and I didn't know much about her because I don't watch a lot of NXT. But Lash Legend is right there, and she is going to be not the next Tiffany Stratton, but the first Lash Legend. I think that she's going to be really good in the future, and she put her stamp on everything that she did this year. She was tremendous. So don't want to move too quickly. You can go a little bit longer because we're only 8 minutes in and we're two categories in.
Well, we're just waiting for a big debate. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a debate one way or another.
Now, promo of the year. Now, Scott called me before the show, and we were like, do we narrow it down to the promo that they cut or who cut the best promo? And my response was yes. So
you helped me out a lot.
So
that's a me answer.
But what it comes down to is who gave. Let's give who gave the best promo and what promo stuck out the most to you. And Cody?
This is probably going to be, an IWC answer, but anything CM Punk was saying on the mic this year. Everything he did cut deep. Everything he did was honest. Everything he did was truthful. Everything he did was him. He was the most authentic promo artist, second to Paul Heyman, But everything he did was just on fire, on topic, insults, cleverness, even winking at the IWC. Everything he did was just great.
Okay, Scott.
Well,
I told you to put the dog upstairs!
by unpopular belief, I did not say CM Punk.
Oh.
I thought about CM Punk. I thought about Seth Rollins. I thought about CM Punk again. But I couldn't let this man get by the wayside. Because as equally as CM Punk did, of course it helps when you're in the same storyline as CM Punk. I picked Drew McIntyre. Again,
number 2.
Spot on. The insults they were laying out were fantastic. His attitude towards the WWE, the I don't give a shit attitude, right, was amazing. Personal. When he took that bracelet, and wore it in every promo he cut. Dogging CM Punk's dog, dogging CM Punk's wife, dogging CM Punk himself. I could not let him not have the promo of the year. And I said this to Matt, I said, and I give credit to Matt and Cody because they're younger than me and they have better memory than me. I couldn't pick a solid individual promo until I got off the phone with Matt and I was watching some videos. And CM Punk or Drew McIntyre was on Busted Open like yesterday. They called him out there. He sat down. Drew McIntyre, as he is, bold. And this is how he finished it. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. And dropped the mic. That's balls. And he walked off. That was, to me, that solidified my answer of, yeah, because I was tossing it back and forth, CM Punk or Drew or Seth. But when Drew said that, I'm like, yep, that's my answer.
I was the same way, Scott. It was CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, like who was better. And it's like when Drew McIntyre said, the fans, I've given everything for them, they've given nothing back to me, screw all your opinions, and I'm done, and walked off. And I'm like, is he gonna get in trouble? Like, what's gonna happen now?
I'm right,
But yeah, that's why I said Drew McIntyre.
Okay, so mine is 1A and 1B, and it's neither Punk or McIntyre.
Okay.
And one is going to surprise the shit out of both of you because I have dogged on this guy. I have just absolutely. I went back and just looked at the different shit that he has said, and I'm like, that's good, that's good, that's good. Number 1A is The Rock. His 9-minute promo he cut at the rodeo was chef's kiss. The one where he decided to call Pharaoh, but he ripped on Cody Rhodes' dog, Pharaoh, and then looked directly into the camera and told Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, off is the direction you can fuck.
Oh.
Yeah. That's number 1. Because it was vintage rock meets modern day, and it was gold from the moment he walked into that arena until he stopped. And then my number 2
insane.
My number 2 is Cody Rhodes. Because the whole Rock, you're a tremendous salesman. You are what we would call a carny succubus. And for those of you that don't know what that means, it means a whiny bitch.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It was the whole Cody Crybabies. It was the Rock Rod Riders. It was all that kind of stuff. It was the back and forth of those two guys that made it special. And those were my two promos of the year that were. And then the whole chicken nugget thing.
You're killing my gimmick, kid.
So,
I love you too.
but those were my two promos of the year. In a close third is Punk McIntyre. By all means. I also considered throwing in the that was never mind. Last year's was the Bye Bye Bitch. Last year was Seth Rollins' Bye Bye Bitch.
Yeah. Bye bye, bitch.
That was my I had to go something along the lines of Cody Rhodes saying you're nothing but a carny succubus, and for those of you who don't know what that is, that means whiny bitch. And to me,
That's fair. I mean,
that's a big enough mic drop in and of itself. And it shows Cody what he's able to do with possibly being a heel if we get that in 2025.
And I had a hard time staying away from Seth Rollins, especially here of late. He's been doing some amazing work on the mic, but I had to go Drew.
So moving on to Breakout Wrestler of the Year male. It's not a rookie. If you have a rookie in mind, if you're gonna go with the same guy you had for Rookie of the Year, that's fine. Mine changed. So go ahead, Scotty.
Okay. When you talk about Breakout of the Year, Rookie of the Year, I didn't think rookie at that point. Who has made the biggest old crap in the when appearing on the show? And I have three. I'm not sure how to put it. I mean, I said Jacob Fatu. He's been everything he does is great. Braun Breaker, I'd have to say, probably would be my top dog in that one Breakout of the Year because he's taken over. He got to he got brought up to the main roster, but I cannot look past a guy that's been fire on NXT, and that's Rich Holland. That guy has just been freaking amazing to watch.
Since he went down to NXT, he's been killing it.
So in NXT, I would say he'd break out because coming into something different. I think when they brought him back down and he's changed, and he's just been killing it. I like that. So my two big ones would probably be Braun Breaker and Rich Holland.
Okay, Cody.
The WWE mark in the group is going to be picking an indie act. The breakout star of the year is anyone who imitates Kane. We have Blue Cane, we have Gain, we have Cocaine, we have Candy Cane. Someone's eventually gonna do Mexi Cane, where it's gonna be great. This stuff has just been. It's funny, it's stupid, it's funny. It shouldn't happen, but it's entertaining. Like the fact that they can use the same gimmick, same concept, and just change it a bit to make it different and be successful at it, go ahead. I am all for that.
Okay. Now we danced
Scott,
around.
I am scared what you were writing down.
Don't need to be scared.
You guys danced around the absolute biggest breakout star of the year because you couldn't turn on any social media without this guy being there. Because if you said his name, he will appear. It is Joe Hendry.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm out.
Bye. Show's over.
Tell me he didn't make some of the biggest impact. He was the spring, summer, and fall of 2024.
And he's probably going to be the winter of 2025.
Because I guarantee you, I promise you, if and when he appears at Royal Rumble, he will have the biggest pop out of anybody who's in that Rumble. I promise you.
You said it right the first time. It's when. It's not an if, it's when. When he shows up, that will be... I would dare say it would rival the pop that Edge got when he came back.
It without question, it's Joe Hendry is the breakout superstar of the year, because until his and it's all because of his music. It's his music and his persona that got him over organically. Just like LA Knight, it was so organic last year, and that's why I put him as male breakout last year, because he was just so over organically, and he was just over with the fans. And to me, every time out, Joe Hendry's gotten multiple title opportunities, and he performs in each match that he's at. He's not just a gimmick. He is really good in the ring. And that's my breakout male of the year. Next up, breakout female wrestler of the year. Cody?
Again, the WWE mark of the group, Willow Nightingale.
Okay.
I think that Willow Nightingale is probably top 5 greatest women wrestlers in AEW and Ring of Honor. She knows what she's doing. She has an entertaining character. She can turn heel on a dime. It 2 years ago at not World's End. What the hell was the New Japan crossover? Forbidden Door. It was her as the New Japan Strong Women's Champion versus Toni Storm as the AEW Women's Champion. And they had probably the second best match of the night. And she has done nothing but improved since. And the fact that Tony Khan does not have a good belt on her shows a lot.
Scotty?
Well, I could go with Tiffy Stratton again, but she deserves, she deserves it. She has performed beyond what I thought she would do. I wanted to say Jade Cargill, but she was here, and then it was just like I thought she would be, just like 8 and 8, just like where she was before. She was here, and then she's just like here, right? Everybody's excited that she got here, and I have not been impressed since she's been in WWE. So, but I would say my breakout female of the year goes back to what Cody said about that AEW match with his pick. Toni Storm has lit the wrestling world on fire with what she's done. She's amazing even up till now. I just watched her on AEW a few episodes ago, and she's amazing. She's in the ring amazing. She comes out classy. She performs. She does everything she needs to do. My pick is Toni Storm.
Okay. 2 very, very worthy picks, and this is part of the show. This is one segment of the show where I'm going to pop Cody, and he'll know exactly when I say, because I don't like this girl. I don't. But I know that she had a tremendous year, because she is over organically, and it is what it is. She is what Joe Hendry is to both of you for me. Okay.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
It's Chelsea Green.
No. You said it wrong. It's Chelsea Green.
It's her.
It was on my list too.
I don't like her.
Wait, is she on your shit list, Scott?
No, she's on the very bottom of my list.
That's what I mean. Like, she's not. She wouldn't be like, yeah. Okay,
she's
so
annoying,
you two
that's
don't
why.
like. What the hell is going on here? Why do I like Chelsea Green of all people, and you two don't?
Because she's annoying. No.
No,
So she's doing her job well.
So here's the thing, and it's a comedy gimmick, and it just drives me nuts. But she's very good at what she does, and for entertainment value, she is entertaining. And she just happens to be married to the biggest douche canoe in professional wrestling, in Matt Cardona. So whatever.
Yep. Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where your bias comes in. Because I feel like if she wasn't married to Matt Cardona, I feel like you would be a little bit more on her side.
No. She won the award. She won the award for breakout female star.
No, I get that, but I'm saying, like, I feel like you would be a little bit more on her side just in general if she wasn't married to the biggest, what you said, in all of sports entertainment.
And if you're listening, Matt Cardona, ever get plugged or ever get, I don't know if Cody Cornette will stitch it. I don't care. Cardona, pay me $500 for your wife's award that she just got. And plug it.
Hey. Wait. I want, and I also would like to know, Matt Cardona, I have a question to follow up that question. How does it feel to get your ass beat by the modern day Hulk Hogan? I mean, Jericho took you to school last night, son. So, like, you need to just. Anyway,
I didn't see that. Did he get beat by?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Jericho beat the brakes off of him.
1, 2, get the hell out of my ring.
And that ends the news segment. Matt Cardona sucks.
There you go. Plug it. Put it on your I don't care where you put it.
The next category. I'm
don't sugarcoat that shit ever again.
I don't know how to segue into this.
I'm gonna fucking die laughing.
So this segment, not this segment, but this category, in my opinion, we're gonna probably either gonna have 3 different this time around, or we're all gonna have the same one. Absolutely. But it is Feud of the Year. And Scott.
All right. So I mentioned one feud of the year. I love this feud. I loved Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. That was storytelling at its finest. They went from personal, and more personal. Then they beat the crap out of each other all year long. And every little PLE that you could figure out they'd be at, they were there. From promo to work in the ring, everything CM Punk and Drew McIntyre did was by far, to me in WWE, the best. And it's very close second. I love what Christian and Edge did in AEW. That feud, or not, was it AEW? Yeah, it was AEW.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That reminded me of when they were at WWE near the end. It was just, and they brought some of that personal crap into it, right? Mm-hmm. So it was a tie between CM Punk, Drew, and Christian and Edge.
Okay. Cody?
My joke rivalry of the year is AEW versus the box office. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But the real feud of the year, there's no question about it. Punk, McIntyre, 9 10 months of hell. Punk Drew incident at the Rumble got his injury. Punk continuously just pissing off McIntyre and Seth Rollins up until WrestleMania for the world title. Cost Drew McIntyre the world title at WrestleMania. Cost Drew McIntyre the world title at Money in the Bank. Clash of the Castle. Multiple different comeuppances for Punk in Chicago. Destroyed in front of his family and friends. They made us care about a God-blessed bracelet that you could make in kindergarten for 5 cents. Nobody touched this story. Nobody. Not Cody Roman. Not MJF Adam Cole. Not anything AEW is doing. Not anything else WWE was doing. This was the story of the year, hands down.
Okay, I mean, it's a clean sweep, but honorable mention for me, and again, a lot of people hate this now because it's, in their opinion, it's gone on way too long. And it's Liv and Mommy. Liv and Rhea. That is, in my opinion, a second. That's honorable mention to that one because, I mean,
like if you had to rank them, you're right.
Chicken finger slut. I mean,
yeah, right. We're making great insults. I mean, really, if you had to rank them, it's Punk McIntyre, Liv and Rhea, and then I don't even know if Bloodline makes top 5. I mean, maybe.
I mean, you're coming from a guy that loves the Bloodline. There's no secret. I had a hard time putting them in. They were my top 5, but I mean, and I love it. I tell you that every Tuesday night. I love the story. I love how deep that story is, and it is. There's layers upon layers upon layers. But I just was. It wasn't as when I think of feud, I'm thinking of very personal, very personal. And the Bloodline is personal. Don't get me wrong. But to be personal, you have to have everybody involved at the same time, in my opinion. You know, and we didn't have Roman Reigns half the year. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Now he's coming back, and now it's getting more to that personal level between him and Solo. But I had to go with Drew and Punk for sure. I left the Bloodline off my top 2.
Next up, PLE of the year. Cody.
Bad Blood? Like, that's a question? Bad Blood 2024 outbeat both WrestleManias, outbeat SummerSlam, outbeat Survivor Series, outbeat the Rumble. It was a B pay-per-view. It had no right of going as hard as it did. It did, and it made tremendous strides for B pay-per-views going forward.
Scott?
I will agree. I did not pick that, and I'll tell you why. But I do agree with everything you said. That was a banger of a PLE. I even think I sent it in a text to the other guys. I'm so used to being at this PLE not being that great. It used to be like a overrated SmackDown or whatever. But that PLE was amazing, hands down. I mean, that had my match of the year in it. So I'll just put it out there.
Agreed. Yeah, same here. Match of the year in that pay-per-view.
And it pains me to say this because I don't want to get misunderstood. Please don't, because I still am not a fan of it. It gave me the end of the story. It gave me returns like The Rock. It gave me everything leading up to that with Rock and Cody. It gave me everybody that you wanted to see in that last night. Although it was kind of dumb at parts of it, but it gave me that. So I chose WrestleMania Night 2 because it gave me what WrestleManias do. Stardom. You know, star, you know, everything. There were some great matches in there. So I had to go with the PLE of the year with Night 2 of WrestleMania 40. For that reason.
Hold on. I've gotta make sure I speak properly because I want to make sure I know. Yes, night two of Mania. It started off with Punk, the Punk storyline
Mm-hmm.
picked up. That's when Punk McIntyre started. Okay. LA Knight and AJ Styles had a banger of a match that night.
They were
Logan
just a
Paul,
one-on-one match?
yeah.
Why is that a blur?
Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and triple threat for the United States Championship. Banger.
Great match.
It's sad when the women's match, which should have been an absolute banger, was overshadowed by everything else.
That
Bayley
was
and
Bayley
Io.
and Io.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then,
shit.
of course, you end it all with Cody Roman. And Cody finishing the story, he finally beats the final, or not the final boss, because he's still out there lurking. Will he not be at WrestleMania? He says he's not gonna, but there's still a possibility. WrestleMania Night 2 was amazing from start to finish. And they crammed all that stuff in a shorter amount of time than Bad Blood, believe it or not. It was a shorter pay-per-view. Night 2 was shorter than Bad Blood was.
Really? How long
Yep.
was Bad Blood? What, 3.5?
Yeah.
Maybe? No. Yeah. WrestleMania Night 2 was what? 3? 3.5? 4?
2.5. Because I remember looking at the clock, and we were done.
No way.
We were done by 10 o'clock with that pay-per-view.
End time.
I remember looking at, I was like, wow, we got another like 45 minutes to where we can, like, what are we doing?
Oh, well, that sucks. They gave me a combined time of 469 minutes. That's still a lot of wrestling for 2 nights, but still. Yeah, I can't get a exact number on that.
Well, anyway, it really doesn't matter at this point. The night when a pay-per-view feels like it goes by like that, and you enjoy everything that you saw that night, without question, it's the pay-per-view of the year.
That's how I felt with Bad Blood. I mean, I loved the opening match. I wish it wasn't the opening match, but you had the opening match, Hell in a Cell, McIntyre and Punk, which, in my opinion, brought back the mystique of Hell in a Cell, of what Hell in a Cell should be, which is the blow-off of a feud, and be this demonic structure where people are just violent and crazy and obscene. Like, this is when obscene violence should happen. Then you had, I don't remember most of the matches, but I know that we had Liv versus Rhea with Dominic in a shark cage, which was entertaining as hell. Especially when Rhea looks right at the ref and you hear it on the ref cam, hey, I got something to take care of. And the ref's like, yeah, you deserve that. And I'm like, okay, cool, the ref is just okay with outside interference for no reason. That's awesome. And then you have Roman, Cody, Jacob, and Solo in a tag match, and Roman and Cody win. Roman's a tweener, then goes full-blown face, and then Rock comes out as a surprise. Granted, if you're part of the IWC and read the spoilers, blah, 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 he was already in Georgia, whatever. But still, he came out, and we've heard nothing from him since. Since that pay-per-view, I have been on the edge of my seat waiting for Rocky to return and try to figure out what he meant by 1, 2, 3, and then across his throat. We've had no continuance on that.
Okay. So, Next up is Cody's favorite category of because he loves himself some gimmick wrestlers. Let's move on to the gimmick wrestler of the year. Cody, you can go ahead and.
It's the same as my breakout. Whoever did, everybody who's doing the blue cane, the cocaine, the candy cane, the gain, you know, good on you. You found something that works. Also, anybody that does celebrity wrestling, like the Michael Jackson impersonator, or like people who dress up like Mario and Luigi or Master Chief, or like, you know, copy infringement gimmicks that are already owned by major corporations. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I have to give a shout out to an indie guy that has one of my favorite gimmicks in indies, but I do have a gimmick of the year in the pro wrestling. But I love indie wrestling. This guy is from CCW in Florida here. No, it's not Pretty Rich Wise. No.
Oh, but you had my hopes up.
Not Pretty Rich Wise. Well, there's a guy. Check him out. He's Cha-Cha Charlie. He comes down with the sombrero, does a little dance, gets the crowd involved. To me, that's a gimmick, right? To me, gets the crowd involved, right? So for indie wrestling, and I love you, Cha-Cha Charlie. Met him personally, had him on the show. I'd give him the indie gimmick of the year. I have to go for when you go to pro wrestling, and I hate this. Man, when you say his name, he appears, right? And
oh, you son of a bitch!
it's Joe Anderson, right? It pains me to say that, but I have to give it. I complain. I don't like him, and I complain about it because of his gimmick. And Matt hit it on the head. I even play it for my foster kids, right? You say his name, and they got the claps and all this, and I'm like, oh, there's a gimmick. So I gave him a gimmick of the year, painfully. I also did like AEW Christian Cage's Patriarch gimmick. He's just,
oh yeah,
dude. And I used to not be a Christian fan, but everything he does, everything he says is hilarious. And it is, if it's not hilarious, it's like, ugh, you pissed me off. So, and that's what my opinion is the gimmick of the year, what it should do. I hear his name and I get pissed off. And then I hear, so yeah, Joe Hendry. And I have to give it up to Christian Cage, Patriotic of the Year.
That is so fucking funny.
So that's my two.
So you bring out, you talk about the whole indie wrestling. You gave your shout out. I'm giving my shout out to a guy that's been on our show. Scott's talked to him before. I gotta give my shout out to my boy Scott Atlas.
Mall Cop.
The Mall Cop. Paul Blart, the Mall Cop. Scott Atlas, great gimmick. I love it. He's a security guard for 24K in IWE. Super fun guy. He's got a lot of energy and he's just a lot of fun to talk to. And we'll look forward to having him back on the show sometime in 2025. Now, my absolute gimmick wrestler of the year for mainstream is Cody's all-time favorite wrestler. He should be AEW champion right now. It is Mr. Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy as gimmick wrestler of the year. Without question,
It's not a gimmick, bro. It's a shoot. It's a shoot, bro. He's just that powerful.
Anyone who does sweet shin music and the orange punch, it's a gimmick. And I love it because it pisses off so many of the hardcore marks, including the one directly below me. And anytime I get an opportunity, I throw up a picture and I'll share it in the group chat. Here you go, Scott. Hold on.
Send it to me.
It's going in the group chat. It is right. Come on, come on. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, right there.
I hope the Jim Kelly curse is real and Jared Goff never goes back to a Super Bowl.
It's that one.
It's almost as good as your favorite, Darby Allin.
So,
I mean, you're talking about this guy.
yeah, that guy. Yeah.
You mother gun trucker. Oh, you. Hoo, 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 hoo. I hope Patrick Mahomes breaks his ankle. I hope Jared Goff breaks his hand. I hope Carson Wentz just has a heart attack. I don't care at this point. I hope that all of your hopes and dreams die, just like AEW would if that ever were to come to fruition.
We're going to do the rest of the show with Orange Cassidy. But that's Gimmick Wrestler of the Year, in my opinion. Moving on to Match of the Year male. Match of the Year in the male category. I think we're all in agreement. It's probably going to be the Hell in a Cell match. I scoured. Like, I really wanted. Actually, no. I will say that there was one other match that, if you went and looked at and wanted a good wrestling match and not just gratuitous violence because you wanted to see gratuitous violence, it's Daniel Bryan and Okada over in New Japan. Those guys absolutely beat the brakes off of each other for what seemed like forever. And it wasn't gratuitous violence. It was them having an absolute banger of a wrestling match, technical wise and everything else. And it's textbook for what a wrestling match should have. And it wasn't a bunch of flippity flops. It wasn't over the top shit. It was a wrestling match. It was a technical masterpiece. And if you're looking for a wrestling match, yes, that one was the match of the year. If you're looking for sports entertainment match of the year, it's without question Punk and McIntyre Hell in a Cell. Now, before you shit on it, Mister,
I'm not going to shit on it. I do agree with how you worded that to a point.
But wait a second. Let me finish what I was about to say.
I am.
Before you take a big, massive dump on what I just said, you yourself have said that you don't watch a lot of New Japan.
Right, but I did watch that match.
That is very shocking.
It's not because everybody was saying, if you're a wrestling fan, you should watch this match. If you really love wrestling, if you're a hardcore fan, you should watch this match. I love actual technical masterpieces. I really do. When there's build behind it. Okada Bryan is a dream match that just so ended up becoming to happen with build. Yes, technical masterpiece. I will agree with that. It is a technical. Okay,
I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. We aren't talking about stories here. We're talking about in-ring work. Match of the year. It doesn't need to have any story to it. Doesn't need to have any backstory or anything to it. It is a match of the year.
And I agree with that. I also agree that stories help the matches. Audiences help the matches. You take Rock Hogan. only had 1 month build. But that audience made that match iconic. That audience in Toronto at WrestleMania 18 made that match what it was. If you watch that match with the sound off, it's a stinker. It sucks.
Well, so you weren't paying attention to the crowd then, because the crowd loved every minute of Okada Bryan.
Yes, and it's labeled as a dream match. But when you just put dream matches upon dream matches upon dream matches,
now,
it loses
I know
its
why
luster.
It's because he was from AEW, and I totally get that. Because
No, I would have loved to see Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to call him, versus Okada, because those two are great technical wrestlers. Two of the best.
all right,
It's just to me that with the 10-month story build that McIntyre and Punk had, behind that gratuitous violence match in the setting of Hell in a Cell in front of Atlanta, Georgia, which is home of David Crockett, WCW, back when Flair, Dusty, all them had great physical matches.
Jim Crockett, not David Crockett, because Davy Crockett's the fucking. He's what?
Well, no, David Crockett was his son.
No.
But, yeah, David Crockett was Jim Crockett's son.
Yeah, but Jim Crockett. Never mind.
I get what you're saying. It was Jim Crockett Promotions. But what I'm saying is that it was the Crockett's, it was WCW, it was the homeland of, hard-hitting, hardcore wrestling.
Yeah, and Paul Bunyan's going to be a special guest referee.
Okay. I get it. Look, at least Bill Hurd didn't fucking book the Ding Dongs again. That's all that mattered to me.
Scott, who you got? Because we know that Cody's taking the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that was for me. That was off the charts. One of the best. I did like I can't remember what it was in AEW when they had maybe it wasn't AEW, but that match Danielson had in AEW. I can't remember who it was against, but that shit was just unbelievable.
Well, he had multiple.
I think this will be an unpopular opinion. I don't want to get into a big discussion, but I think it was Moxley. Didn't Moxley get involved? And there was all that violence and that bag over the head. And stuff like
that. That was when he lost the title.
Yes, I thought that was insanity. And for me, I'm a guy that likes that kind of wrestling. For me, that made a match of the year. But I couldn't get past. You can't get over that Drew McIntyre and CM Punk had one of the best matches of this year at Bad Blood. That just was insane. That was everything I wanted it to be as a fan with following that storyline. So I did take Drew McIntyre, CM Punk at Hell in a Cell. Yeah.
Okay. Match of the year female. Scott.
Liv and Rhea at SummerSlam. That was insanity. That was, yeah. I think that's where she won the belt too, right, Liv? Yeah.
Yeah. No, she retained and won Dominic.
Yeah. That was phenomenal.
She won the love of Dominic Mysterio, which is just a greater reward than the Women's World Heavyweight Championship, in my opinion.
But that was my match of the year female.
Cody?
God. I'm going to go with the Women's Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
From Perth, Australia.
Okay.
That was probably the best showcase of women's athletics, physicality, and storytelling that we could have told all year long.
Well, wasn't that I'm just not to interrupt you, but wasn't that the women's match that had all the bad chair shots? Missed.
No, that was War Games.
Okay, War Games. Okay, I knew it was again. I don't, That was one of the.
Honestly, the War Games match was the worst match of the year,
Right.
both men and women's. There is no gender disqualification here. That match blew.
Right. So I didn't know if that was the match you were talking about. So
No, the Elimination Chamber in Perth when Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton, oh God, Naomi, a few others.
Yeah.
I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but it was a great match. It really showed everybody's strengths. There were really no weaknesses. It started the presentation scene of how Triple H wanted it to be shown across the board. It was great. I loved how it was put together. I loved how it was produced. I loved how it was shown on television, honestly. I'm a huge sucker for stuff like that.
Matt?
Mine is, there's two of them that immediately pop into my head. Just had to make sure I had the right venue and everything. I really thought Backlash France with Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton.
Okay.
Thought that one was really good, really well put together. And a second one, it was, I gotta make sure I get this right again. It was AEW England. It was All In. England, is it all? Yeah, All In.
That was my number 2.
With Toni Storm and Mariah May. Those two ladies absolutely tore the house down without question. But yeah, those are my two for, and they're 1A and 1B.
And it showed that Tony Khan didn't have to pay for Mercedes Moné, but he chose to anyways.
The next up, we have entrance/theme of the year. It's what's your favorite song, or even just how they enter? Cody?
I'm sorry, Scott. I'm sorry, Matt. I really am. But that stupid NXT Battle Royal, when everybody knew who was going to come out, but the presentation that they made of him as such a big star, the way the entrance was done, it was just phenomenal. As much as I hate that damn theme song like Scott does, I'm not gonna say it, but obviously it's Joe Hendry. Just a particular entrance, that one and the one, was it the night before SummerSlam or the week after SummerSlam when he faced Trick Williams or Ethan Page for the NXT title? Like that again, that entrance, the way it's produced, the way that it came across, the way that he came across, it made him look like $1 million. I couldn't have thought of anything better for him, honestly.
I'm gonna go with what we talked about on Tuesday's show, the Tuesday after Backlash. One of the topics was how the crowd blew up, and the phones went up, the fireflies were all over the place, and it went on and on for yeet. Okay, so that was phenomenal. That crowd, we said it on the Tuesday show, that crowd made American crowds look ridiculous.
Oh, made them look weak.
That was amazing, the reaction. So when I think of entrance, and I think of something that's going to get the crowd popping.
Yeah.
That did. That did. But I had a second one, that would be part B. You cannot take away what they did for WrestleMania Night 1, the final boss, and his music. That was insane.
Did you expect anything less, though? Like,
no,
it's The Rock. They're going to go ham for him.
That was incredible. But Yeet, in France was my number one.
So I know this isn't one of the categories, but is France the audience of the year?
Oh,
I
Like
think
it
so, yeah.
is. Yeah, it like that. They, without a shadow of a doubt, outshined every audience
yep,
afterwards.
yep.
I'm going to go Joe Hendry, obviously. In a close second, it was the reigning defending champion from last year was Cody Rhodes, because every time that there there's more than one royal family, every time that hits, the crowd goes nuts. I mean, that that theme song in and of itself has grown into a phenomenon, just like Seth Rollins and his Burn It Down. It's those are all three of those instant pops. One, just the
Yeah.
music itself, it's taking a life of its own. It is more over than Judas was at this
Mm-hmm.
point. And you know, like the two entrance themes of the year are right there.
So I'm very shocked that none of the three of us, because this is my number two, no one picked the debut entrance of the Wyatt Six.
Not a
That
fan.
that was on my that was number three actually.
Okay.
Um,
Cause yeah, that was my number two, but I'm like that still was an insane way to introduce someone.
But was that the one that you went all ate crap over because how they looked like it was
Yeah,
a
that was
crime
the
scene?
one where I fucking picked out all the plot holes, but still, I was like, dude, this is a killer way to pick someone that, like, just show them up.
so next up we have debut of the year. So
I mean, that one goes hand in hand, I would think.
it is without question the Wyatts. Wyatt Stick is without question the debut of the year.
Okay, now question: is that a debut, or would that be a
Yeah,
reintroducing? Because it's characters that
it's a
have been shown
debut
before
of
on TV.
it is the debut of the group.
Okay.
So I would agree with you, Matt. I will say that I have Jacob Fatu as the debut of the year because the way he came in. But if we're thinking about what made an impact and that entrance, we always talk because we can talk about Jacob Fatu and every little thing he does and every week he's on a TV show. But I would say that Wyatt Sick was probably, yeah.
I love you so low.
I love you, huge pop.
But I would say Jacob Fatu, but I would say Wyatt Six also.
Yeah, like just the way, like, yes, the plot holes are glaring, that the cameraman's in on it and he's following everything, and that Chad Gable was shot in the forehead, but still, like, that was an awesome entrance. Plot holes or not, that was amazing, great creative work on everyone's end.
And I think what happened was, and what made it so great was everybody was waiting. When are they going to be here? When are they coming back? When are they coming back? When are they coming back?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing with who's coming up here next week. I think they're doing a lot of cryptic stuff with this guy that's going to be making an appearance.
Oh, that's Penta.
Yeah, Penta. That's going to be great. I love it.
So next up is the return of the year.
Oh my god, I went eight.
Scott.
This is great. This just happened, so I mean, it was, to me, it's fresh in my head. The SmackDown on November 15th, 2024, when Nakamura returned. And his creepy ass black and his creepy ass looking face. And he targeted LA Knight, yeah. And dude, that was, to me, I love it. I love it. He's more than war. Yeah, that guy's great. I'm glad he's back. But I will say this: I'm not happy with what they did to his music. I understand you're coming back, and so you got to change it up a little bit. But My comeback or my return of the year was Nakamura.
So to answer your question about his theme song, this was Def Rebel's last thing to do before their contract expired. And they're like, well, we're going out with a bang. Fuck you guys. Because Def Rebel has been nothing but horrible with theme music.
So who do you got for return?
Return of the Year, Taker, 40 at night 2. Like, come on. I was expecting Austin, and then you hear the dong, and then you see Taker show up and choke slam The Rock. I'm like, let's fucking go!
But then he's done.
That's fine! That's all Taker needs to do!
I guess.
Now, mine is totally different, and it's going to. It is. There's one A and one B again because to me they go hand in hand again. Roman returning at SummerSlam is number one A, because now we have him not necessarily repackaged, but him trying to, in a sense, and don't hate on me for saying this, finish his story. Because he's essentially, that's what he needs to do, is finish this business that he has. With the help of a few friends. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's the Cody Rhodes story all over again, but we're getting it at a higher impact with Roman Reigns.
Oh, you mean a bigger star? I'm sorry! I had to dig! I'm sorry, I had to dig!
Wow.
I'm sorry! I really am sorry! I love you, huge!
Matt! I love you, Matt!
Wow. Wow.
Dude, you threw a slow ball down the middle of the plate. I had to swing.
Again, that's your opinion. If you want to have a douchebag opinion, I guess that's fine, whatever. But I don't sit here and berate your opinions.
I didn't berate you. I just said Roman's a bigger star.
No. You took a shot at my opinion, but that's fine, whatever.
Not like Scott's not going to disagree with me.
Okay.
Scott, don't you hide your smile? That's not fair!
Alright, next. Matt'll be shocked about the next one.
The next one, my B, is Paul Heyman returning. And bringing his boy CM Punk in and as the fifth member of that thing. Of the those two, again, it's 1A and 1B because they go hand in hand. And Cody is still your WWE champion.
Yeah.
So fuck off.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I said I was saying
Shut your mouth. We're done.
Now, when Paul Heyman returned, I have a question for you. When Paul Heyman returned, did you have any, like, when people were bringing out those theories, were you, like, reading any of those when Paul Heyman returned?
No. Because Paul Heyman is, if you follow Paul Heyman at all, if you know anything about Paul Heyman, is that when he starts something, he finishes it. He might be at times a slime ball, but when it comes to stuff with Roman, when it comes to stuff with people who he cares about, like Roman, like Brock, like Punk, he doesn't screw them over. So the idea of him siding with Solo made zero sense at all, because
that's what
Solo
I was like.
is not a established talent. He is an up and coming guy. And
You really
Paul
don't think
Heyman,
Solo's established?
no. Look at his
Okay.
losing. Look at his win-loss record. Look at how many matches in a row he lost after he beat Cena.
Yeah, but can't you hang your hat on that one for a
No,
while?
no,
Okay.
because a
I
blind
mean,
squirrel can find a nut in the middle of winter. That doesn't
that's
mean he's a
fair.
good. That doesn't mean he's a smart squirrel. It means he got fucking lucky.
Fair enough.
On to the next tag team of the year.
Uh,
Cody
I'm
can
gonna
lead
throw
off.
it. Thanks. Hey, here's the
Yeah.
wolves. There's Cody. That's fair. I'm just gonna throw a dart at the wall at this point. I'm gonna say Motor City Machine Guns.
Okay, Scotty.
All right, I'm going to start with my indie boys. I'm going to throw an indie shout out there again. Not because I don't watch a lot of indies, but there's a group, Ray Fury. Watch out for this guy in singles. Lucha Lacora. They are tag team champions of XICW or XIW. Sorry. They've been battling another tag team in the indies called Controversial Inc. Two of probably the best indie tag teams in Florida. So I don't know outside of Florida, but fair in Florida. So I had Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair as tag team and the women's because they're just so powerful, but I can't stand Jade, so she came off the list.
Did we do women's and men's? I don't remember.
No, it's just tag team of the year.
Yep.
Okay.
So my two picks for A and B. One Matt will just love. Maybe not. And I will go with the easy one, Motor City Machine Guns. Why not?
Yay!
Why not? I love them. Painful
Well,
for me to say. Painful for this next one, which is top of the list. It's painful for me to say. But from in-ring to entertainment to ability and to popularity, I have to give this Young Bucks. I will have to say they are probably the best tag team of the year. Everything they did, everything they mean, everything they stand for, everything they do for the company of pro wrestling, the Young Bucks. There's my answer. I got you all dumbfounded, but and I know I used to dog on the Young Bucks, but
I know he's your brother. Is he gonna get a yelling? Is he gonna get like the talking tos that I do about this? Like what the heck?
No, because I agree with them. The Young Bucks are the best tag team in all of professional wrestling right now.
That's out of spite. I saw your face. That was out of spite.
No, I mean-
saw a look in your eyes.
I just
No,
seriously,
no.
not to
Like,
interrupt Matt, but I think Matt will agree with me. I think if you take who's the best tag team in 2024, I'm talking they've done it all. They've done. Matt will take it away. They've just done it all. If you look at it,
here's the thing. The only reason I have to give it to the Bucks is because FTR really wasn't around during the 2024 calendar year because they were either hurt or just not on camera. The Young Bucks, they're a very talented. As much as I hate on Nick Jackson because I'm not a massive fan, but I respect what they do. They are the embodiment of what they put on the screen. And they own that shit. They're not going to sit here and whatever. But there's not a
No, he's not lying. I can see it. I can tell when Matt is saying something out of spite, and I can see when Matt is telling the truth. He is actually telling the truth.
I just think that there's no one in the WWE that has the abilities that they have as far as a tag team, other outside of the Machine Guns right now. The only other tag team that I would put in that category in the WWE is the God, and we don't get to see that, unfortunately. I think if WWE was smart, they'd package them as the God, tell Tama Tonga to stop talking like the Tasmanian devil, and produce good tag matches with Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, because they have the ability to do so. And Faxium, that was a mashup that just, to me, that mashup doesn't make sense to me.
That's fair. They're consistently fighting with one another, yet continually winning the tag team title matches.
I
So
can tell you
here's the thing.
I can tell you who the worst tag team in WWE is right now.
Who?
A-Town Down Under.
Touche. I love Nick and Mac Jackson. I think they are great, great people. I went and saw them, and I had got to know them. They are very great guys. Like Matt said, I'm not a fan of their ring work. I love them outside of the business. I chose Motor City Machine Guns because that tag team started as the TNA World and X Division champion, went to New Japan, became the Strong Limit Tag Team Champions or something like that, and went to WWE in their third match, won the tag team titles. Nick and Mac Jackson on AEW, I, for whatever reason, could not get into their in-ring work. Their character work is about 1.5 years too late from what actually should have been happening. And now they're running away with their tail between their legs because Jon Moxley is the devil, I guess you can say. I'm honestly, I'm very surprised from both of you to hear the Young Bucks come out your mouths.
It's 365 days worth of work. It's not just recent stuff. Like the whole, you bring up the Moxley stuff. That's a small window. That is what you remember now. But if you look back at the things that they were doing early in 2024, they were putting on good matches.
Yeah, and again, where I come from, and I'm not. I like AEW. When I get to watch it, and I think Matt and Nick, it all goes back to what are they doing behind the scene as well, and all that PR crap and all that stuff they're doing. And I guess I did hate on them back in the day, but back in 2023 when they were involved in that CM Punk scrum and shit like that brought major content for Matt and I. But I just think when you look at me, talk about a tag team of the year, you got to put it all out there, and that's why I picked Matt and Nick. So,
yeah. Okay, you know what? And like we've been saying all night, it's your opinion. I'm just saying I'm shocked to hear Young Bucks. I'm just shocked to hear that. And yes, at first, Matt, I thought. Say again?
I could have gave you Sting and Darby Allin.
I would have, honestly, from you, I would have accepted that. That I would have taken wholeheartedly.
So next up, we have Female Wrestler of the Year. Mine will probably shock a lot of people, but...
I have a 1 and 2, and the problem is that she was out most of the year. God. And it goes back to what you said about the women's rivalry between Liv and Rhea. because it's been the Liv and Rhea show for most of the year. It like I don't I don't know. I really don't know. That's the hard part. Like
We can circle back if you'd like.
it, I mean, because you have Tony Storm. On the one hand, you have Tony Storm in AEW, who carried that goddamn company all year until August. And then you have Athena, who has been Ring of Honor Women's Champion for going on 2 years now. Tiffany, Money in the Bank winner. When's she going to cash in? Rhea Ripley, for whatever reason, should be dominant, but can't get a hold of the championship. Liv Morgan, showing that average men have a chance with hot blondes. It's like it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because the women, I'm just going to take a political way out of this one and say all the women have done tremendous jobs showing that they are just as on par with the men.
No, unacceptable. Give me a straight answer.
No, unacceptable. No political answers here. This ain't the GOP. Tony Storm.
Scott?
See, it's difficult.
No.
No, I mean, Tony Storm. Tony Storm. I have to go Tony Storm because what she's done all year long.
So this was the third category we all picked the same person, and I quite honestly thought I was going to be the only one that picked Tony Storm. I did not anticipate either of you picking Tony Storm. I figured I'd be out in. She's tremendous on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Because you still have to watch for the shoe.
Not anymore. She has amnesia. So
yeah, she doesn't remember.
She thinks she just debuted 3 weeks ago.
She's a skater chick again, which is fucking cool.
Yeah.
She was timeless Tony Storm. Now she's back to being the ass kicker, and it's.
Well, wasn't timeless Tony Storm an ass kicker?
Well, I'm talking like she's not a character of herself anymore.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
She's done great work in AEW for sure.
And again, like I said,
sit out and watch for the shoe.
The shoe. And like I was saying, you have Tiffany Stratton, Money in the Bank winner, future star. Bayley won the Royal Rumble and now has the record for the longest time in the Rumble. Rhea Ripley has been on a tear, just putting on great character matches. I'm going to say that way. Liv Morgan, same thing, great character matches. They're not like technical masterpieces, but like shit, Tony Storm did both. She put on great character matches, but when she needed to in character was still able to put on a technical masterpiece and make someone look like a bigger star than she was in Mariah May and moved it forward.
So, got 2 more categories, and then we'll close the show out with some closing words from all 3 of us. Male wrestler of the year.
Oh, God.
Scott, who do you got?
All right, technical wrestling of the year. I've had to put Bryan Danielson for sure. I think he's amazing in the ring. My answer will not be Cody Rhodes for sure. I am gonna say, and it won't be MJF, and it won't be Gunther. No one. God damn, I'll get my ass in trouble if I say this one. if you were asking me my favorite wrestler to watch all year long, it's Jon Moxley. But that doesn't give you wrestler of the year, right? That's my favorite guy to watch. I love that stuff. Swerve Strickland, yeah, he's good. That's hard. I forgot about him. I just didn't think of him. But I'm gonna go Yeet because he has had the crowd, the fans on fire all year long from his singles run to the the uh, the showcasing of when he came up to Roman Reigns and Roman grabbed his arm and he pulled it away and said, "Still no Yeet." He is amazing on what he does. So I would have to say Jey Uso. Um, yeah, Jey Uso would be my Danielson and Jey Uso for two different reasons.
Cody?
Jey Uso is definitely up there. He has definitely shown that he is, and I hate to use this analogy, but it's the only one that works. He's the Shawn Michaels, Jimmy's the Jannetty. You know, he can do, but the thing is that Jimmy's starting to show that he is also a Shawn. He can act, he can perform, he can do what he needs to do in the ring. My male of the year is Dominic Mysterio.
Okay.
That's fair.
Other than the recent kicking out of the New Day of Big E, has more heat in any other company. It's organic, and he is just showing how good he is. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and next year, and I'm calling it here, Dominic Mysterio is the next Money in the Bank.
Okay. Oh, well, mine, I have, like Scott has, two answers. As far as the technical, like, just absolute, puts on great matches, it's Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther is just an absolute beast in the ring. What kept him out of making it like the whole way across. It's hard to listen to him speak. And it's not because of his accent or anything. It's just his promos just don't hit for me.
Right.
Like robotic almost.
Yeah,
like you said, it's not the accent. It's just the monotone.
Yeah, it's just not there for me. My wrestler of the year is a guy who doesn't even need to be in the ring wrestling to make his presence felt. He can come out and cut a promo. He doesn't need to be wrestling each week. It's CM Punk is my wrestler of the year. He was in the feud of the year. He cost people matches without even needing to be there. When he running out with the official's jersey on and screwed over Drew McIntyre, I was a happy camper. I was like, hell yeah! When he screwed over Drew at Mania, I was over the moon. He did more when he was injured.
Yeah.
Than when he did more to advance a storyline when he was injured than most people do when they're in ring. To me, that's the professional wrestler of the year. He doesn't need to be in the ring. He doesn't need to touch you to make him pop. It's just, that's it. He is, in my opinion, the male wrestler of the year.
That's interesting to me because I remember back in 2023, my brother and I had a horrific every gosh darn time we got on this podcast.
No. I see.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is your opinion back in 2023 the same as my opinion currently about Cody Rhodes? Because of, not that I hate Cody Rhodes, because I don't. I just think he's in stupid storylines. And so is that kind of where you were at in 2023? Like, you didn't hate CM Punk, but it was just ridiculous.
Well, if you remember right, I didn't hate Punk. I hated Tony Khan for letting Punk say what he said.
Okay. So that's
Punk
kind of
should,
same.
and Punk should have had the wherewithal. I still have this stance. Punk should have had the wherewithal not to be a jackass. But we all know what that's
He
Phil.
is a jackass. So
That's all. That's we know. Phil doesn't pull punches.
Right.
Phil tells it how he sees it.
I should have thought about that, because I should have thought CM Punk, because like you said, Matt, you're right. Off the screen, he doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
It's just, and
he can
he
walk
can come
out
out and
there.
say, he come out there and say, and it got attention of people. Yeah, so I would have to say, I'm also,
Yeah. And you can say the same thing about Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, I hate
because he rarely wrestles.
Right, but he's so under your skin. Yeah, so I see what you guys. I would agree.
Punk, the thing that is different from Dom is Punk is living rent free in 95% of people's heads in that locker room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't even done anything.
Yeah,
like he's living rent free in Seth's head, Drew's head. It's the whole, and I haven't
is he in Drew's head anymore though?
Oh yeah,
it sounds like Drew's like past him at this point, and now is focusing on Sammy and Jay.
No. Drew is a spiteful. He is a holding on to a grudge kind of guy, but that leads us into the final category of tonight, the huge pop moment of the year. This is hard. This is always hard.
I'll go. Mine's probably lame.
John Cena returning? Is that what I'm...
The announcement that all of 2025 is John Cena.
Okay.
I will say this. Mine's easy. I try not to get into this and let it emotionally affect me. But approximately about 3 weeks ago, maybe, I'm not a numbers guy, but approximately 3 weeks ago, I bawled my eyes out. And I can't think of anybody on this screen that would have expected what happened when Big E got shredded in the ring by Kofi and Xavier. I was like stunned. I was like, OMG. To me, I popped. I was like, oh my God. Really? And when something, I popped before in other PLEs and stuff like that, but that, to me, I'll never forget it. I'm just like, oh my God. Right? So I would say when Big E got turned down by Kofi and Xavier, that would be my huge pop moment.
Well, this one was a hard one, and I'm gonna go with the easy answer.
I knew you would.
It's Cody finishing the story.
Yeah,
I must have been the only one that didn't pop.
It's just something about that. It's because it built. It was a 3, almost a 2.5 year build.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question?
No, it was a 2-year build.
Yeah, it was about a 2-year build. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
When I think of pop,
mm-hmm.
I think it was something I didn't expect. Okay? Like the
Correct.
Chiefs with 2 seconds to go. Patrick Mahomes drops back and throws a bomb. And it gets tipped, and the Kansas City Chiefs win. And we're, yeah, because we didn't expect
Yeah,
it.
you cheering for the Chiefs. I'm so proud of you.
Didn't expect it, right?
Well, you're never
If
gonna
you
see
can
that.
look me in the face and say you didn't expect Cody Rhodes to win that match, and you're just like all these PWC people making fake ass reaction videos about when he won the match. Because, come on, we all knew that he was going to finish the story. So
Okay,
for me,
so
a huge pop is something I didn't expect.
I'm not gonna speak for Matt. I'm gonna speak on my experiences of that match. I cried. I knew the outcome. I knew the outcome. It was good. If it wasn't Cody, I was gonna be pissed. But it was the build. It was him giving the title to his mom because Dusty wasn't there. If Dusty was there, I probably would have cried harder. It was like Matt said, it was a 2 year build up to a story that we knew the finish of, but it was that emotional build to getting to that point that we saw Cody finally get what he deserves, and in all intents purposes steps out of the shadow of Dusty Rhodes and goes into the light of Cody Rhodes. It like all the guys there hoisting him up, Triple H, like this again. Like you also have to think this was the culmination of Triple H's first WrestleMania head thing. Like head of creative, everything that was going on. This was a feel good moment that made grown men cry.
Close second, and I'm gonna leave it at this because we're gonna wrap it up. Or we're running half hour over already. Close second for me was the repackaging or unveiling of the Wyatt stick. That popped me. That got me back. I was starting to lose focus, or not focus, but lose attention to the product, and that reeled me back in, and that was just tremendous. But yeah, that's my close second. So, well, we're gonna draw this or wrap this up, tie it in a bow, and put it under the tree for whoever else wants to spend an hour and 40 minutes listening to us windbags talk about our opinions. Just when you think that you have all the answers, we change the questions. Now we're gonna go around the room and I'm gonna let each of you take a couple minutes, couple whatever. I'll make a couple statements about the year 2024. Not in the world of wrestling, but or maybe just give us a couple words on what 2024 was and what you look forward to in 2025. We'll start with Cody.
2024 in the year of wrestling was probably the best year of wrestling, period. It so many different markets, so many different avenues, so many different genres, so many different niches, so many different promotions, anything that you want to watch. Everybody could be happy, but we all still decide to be pricks and have opinions on the internet. Um, it it is what it is. Wrestling is supposed to be fun, however you find it fun. I find it fun with the backstage elements. Matt watches it with his kid with being a fan. Scott watches all the stuff he watches the way he wants to watch it. Everyone can watch it a different way and still find entertainment the way they find it. If you don't like somebody else's opinion, it's called a clicker. It's called a YouTube. It's called the X button on Chrome. Hit the damn thing. Don't sit there and watch it and make yourself mad. 2025, I am optimistic. I cannot wait. It's going to be great. We're just going to be on this bigger wave, and I wish everybody to just enjoy the product however they want to enjoy it.
Scott?
Okay. This might be a little hard, but as far as wrestling goes, 2024 was a banger of the year. A banger of years as far as wrestling goes. As far as what to expect in 2025, I expect a whole on the main stage. I expect a whole lot of launching to the next level. We got Netflix taking it to the next level. Hopefully, Netflix has it figured out so we can all watch the stuff at the same time and without buffering. When it comes to the podcast, I've gained a bigger family. I've gained a bigger family of the watchers. I've gained a bigger family because it started with two brothers. That's what it started as. 2022 started as two brothers talking wrestling. And we had a guest here there. 2023 was a little bit more guests, but 2024 was different for me as far as it showed a sense of family and brotherhood. I can sit here and say my brother Matt, Cody Cornette, Reek, Nikki D, family. And it helped me through a lot. I don't know if you understand that. Because at the end of 2023, I lost my mom. In 2024, I gained friends. They helped me keep going. I've had the opportunity to go to a wrestling convention, met guys I never thought I'd meet. I've had a beer with Tatanka, celebrated his birthday. I sat and talked to Jimmy Hart about life. I sat and talked to I got a look from Matt Cardona that he's a piece of shit, but who cares? I met people that and if you don't want to come on my show, who gives a fuck? I don't care either. And I'm glad that you got your ass beat yesterday. But there's so much coming for 2025 that I'll let Matt said it yesterday. We threw it out there. We have the living legend Larry Zbyszko coming on. We have the referee Cody
Mike Chioda
coming on. We have Samu coming on. We have a bunch of indie people lined up. It's 2025. It's gonna be amazing. Thank you, 2024. Thank you to everybody that watched the show. Thank you for everybody that followed the show. It's not about numbers, guys. We have a lot of fun. My brother and I, and the group of 5 that we talk on Tuesdays, we remind each other about that every single week. It's not about the numbers. It's about having fun. I would say numbers. The numbers on our YouTube channel about a week ago was 427. They're at 339 now, I think. So if you want to talk numbers, they're up, I think.
You went down. You went 427 to 339.
No.
327.
427 to 439.
Okay.
They're up 12.
Oh, we got two new subscribers?
Yeah, sweet. So well again, it's numbers are numbers, and I will say the end of 2024, I started comparing myself to guys like Cole TV. They're friends of ours. They're great. They're doing a good job. A lot of these people I'm like, you know what? Back to the basics. We're back to what we used to do. People love what we do. And so as far as that, my last, the closing statements, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Reek. Thank you, Nikki D. And I want to thank your spouses, everybody's wives, for letting us do what we do. or putting up with what we do. I guess Thank you, and that's what I like to say. Love you guys. Thank you.
So, to piggyback off of both of you, 2024 has been an absolute roller coaster of emotions. We've been at each other's necks at times. But we've also been there to put our arms around each other and pick each other up. And that to me, being able to talk to both of you and shit, we've almost gone 2 hours at this point, and it seems like it honestly feels like I just sat down.
Unfortunately, yeah, it feels like that for me too.
And 2024, like I said, like Scott said, 2022 it started off as, oh yeah, we got Shane Taylor, we got Chris Harris, yeah. 2023 rolls around, we got a chance to talk to Ken Anderson, we got a chance to talk to Duke the Dumpster Drozy, we got the names, we're getting there, and I don't want to sound like I'm name dropping, but Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast lives rent free in the biggest douche canoe's head in all of wrestling. We live rent free in Matt Cardona's head.
I now have at least a 5-minute compilation of you guys just shitting on Matt Cardona. I have yet to say one bad thing about the motherfucker.
But Matt said it right. Matt said it right. If you don't think we're living in your head rent free, then you wouldn't make comments that you would make about Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast and Matt Cardona. We're living there rent free.
Oh boy, I love this.
But anyway, like I said, it's the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. It's the the Football Fridays. It's every piece that we place together that for the last year it's helped me, and I know it's helped my brother get through really, really, really dark times. And I want to thank you to everyone who tunes in, everyone who is subscribed to the Twitch, the YouTube, the Facebook, wherever you watch. Thank you, and I appreciate you. We do have some less guests lined up, and we also for 2025 have a new show that will take over after Football Fridays are done. I don't have a title for it because that's a work in progress, but it debuts on January 6th. It will have myself, it'll have my brother, and it will have making his podcast debut, Andrew. We will be talking about WrestleManias 25, 26, 27, 28, all the way to current day. We'll be reviewing it in an hour and 15, who knows. Hopefully it won't go long, but it's our winter wrestling show. It's still going to be Beyond the Mat, maybe Beyond the Mat explores WrestleMania. And we're going to try to continue that going forward. And that'll be every Friday, and we're going to push the date or push the time back to 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, so 2:30 Central. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. Hearing a 12-year-old give his opinion is going to be epic, because the kid, and again, my son is tremendously smart, not just with wrestling, but in general. I'm excited for the 6th of January for that specific show. Not 6th, I'm sorry. Wow.
I was going to correct you after the show, but...
No, that's not the 6th. I'm so sorry. The 6th is when we all go back to work. Um, it is 10th of January. Wow.
I don't know
4
about
days
you,
off.
but
10th of January. At 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, 2:30 Central. And again, it's Beyond the Mat's WrestleMania Rewind is what I'll coin it now. Whatever. Um, don't at me, WWE, please. I'm a broke dude. I don't have money to give you. Um. Anyway. Um. But yes. And again, thank you all. Merry Christmas. I don't. I can't say it enough. That we just. I don't know.
I
Cody.
just want to say something real quick. The year 2024 for this podcast for me has, it's not just the podcast. It's like you guys have been saying. It being your guys' friend has done a lot for me. Matt has somehow taken this dark Cornette heart in almost 2 years of friendship and has slightly made it less darker.
So you're kind of like the Grinch in a way. You grew just a little
No, because the Grinch had a medical issue by having his heart grow 3 sizes in one day. So that's a huge other problem. 2 years ago, I had I made a big problem for myself because I don't know when to shut my mouth, as we have all seen tonight. And Matt still took a chance to be my friend, and he realized that I am just a complete dipwad and no filter, which is fine. Because he has shown me how to be a good husband. He has shown me how to be a good father. Scott has also shown me how to be a good father and a good husband. And you guys taking a chance being my friend has mean the absolute world to me. Especially when there have been people to Matt saying, don't be his friend. Don't talk to him. You will lose all credibility. And then he tells them what I do, and they're like, he's actually nice? Well, no, I do a character for a reason. I don't want people to actually think I'm a good person.
Meanwhile, we can't go to that Applebee's ever again.
Yeah, we can never go to that Applebee's. I burned that some bitch to the ground.
But again, thank you all.
Cody.
We are 53 minutes over the limit.
So Cody, you still curious what I wrote on the back of the paper?
Yes, very much so.
All I wrote was guest of the year. And I don't feel that's a right to answer that because all our guests on the podcast, all the way from IWE, all the way from the Mall Cop, Scott, everything. We've been blessed as a group to get the guests that we've had. So I couldn't even pick a guest of the year, but I wrote it down because I was going to mention at the end of the show. I just want to say thanks to all the guests.
Everybody.
That took a chance to come. That took a chance to come on here. They didn't charge us any money to come on our show.
Yeah.
Not that one particular person did, but
hey, all I have to say is Ahmed Johnson is making traction. I'll say that. His shorts have been going through the roof, and I love it.
I was just saying his shorts. How do you know about his shorts? But
well, that like his the shorts.
Okay.
Whatever. End the show, man. End the show on this awkward silence.
It was almost the way that we're ending right now is almost as awkward as that kiss that Goldust gave Ahmed. But anyway, we'll see you in the new year, fellas. And again, have a good one.